Hi everybody, Chris here. I thought I'd do a video in regards to hearing a lot about 5G, 6G network. So we're talking about distorted frequency here, okay? And we're talking about Wi-Fi, we're talking about chemtrails, we're talking about all these things, air supply being poisoned, okay, by heavy metal sprays and certain viruses and all these sorts of things. Now, for a long time in regards to viruses infections, I've been saying that it's not the whole catch a cold type of scenario. It's more these are being manifested, okay, in a number of ways through frequency, okay, and that's what we're going to talk a lot about. As the great Nikola Tesla always said, if you want to learn about the universe, you need to learn about vibration and frequency, because everything is that. Everything is that. And one thing here at Tree Holistic is to understand and get your head around the concepts of what is causing illness, causing disease, causing all the problems we have. We need to understand our reality, okay? And I tell you, we have been programmed at such a deep level to not understand these big questions of who are we, where we come from, and we can finally start to answer those sorts of things and get on the right track if we question what this reality is, and that's a big part of it, okay? Big part of this reality is vibration and frequency, and if we can get there, then we can understand the whole picture of what's going on at the moment, and this is what this video is going to be about. Now, anyone that comes here and does a session with me at Truly Holistic, they'll understand that, okay, I use dowsing to find out specifically what we need to do in the body, whether it's the energy body or the physical body, even if we could call it the physical body, and we find out what the stress or what is causing that problem, and then we just neutralize the problem out, okay? Now, one part I want to talk about though is the part that we use to amplify intent, okay? And we use geometry, okay? One thing you'll notice about this geometry is that it's a structure, okay? Anything that has geometry too has structure. We could say the same thing about a crystal, okay? And what they have a natural frequency of their own, each geometry, but when we're using intent through the tool, it amplifies that intent, and that intent is a frequency in itself, because every word we use, okay, our thought processes have an individual vibrational frequency signature to them, okay? Another thing you'll notice about these tools are they're made out of metals, okay? Now you can make these geometries just by having it on a piece of paper, a drawing or wood or something like that, but it doesn't take it to the level that metals do, okay? Now, another technology we know about layered metals is orgone or orgonite, okay? And because the resonance of the different metals, okay? Now, why this is important in regards to this video is you'll notice in regards to, let's take the example of chemtrails, okay? We hear that chemtrails is they are spraying our air supply with metals, okay? That's what we hear, okay? So, and we hear about autism and all dementia, and a lot of problems are caused by accumulation of metals, and heavy metals in particular, aluminum, mercury, and so on. Amalgams in your teeth, metal, and they quite often say, well, they are causing that disease. Okay, I don't see that with my dowsing. I don't see that with the sessions. What I do see though is the fact that it's not only just the metals, it's the frequency bound with the metal, okay? One thing we must realize when we look up at our skies in regards to the chemtrails being sprayed, we see residual stuff left in the sky, which is the metals, and a number of other things that are there. But we also see frequency, okay? We see unusual patterns and cloud formation patterns in the sky, which is things like HAARP, CERN, a lot of these frequencies that are coupled with the things they're spraying in the sky. Again, that's what causes the problem, okay? As I say, what I'm doing here, I'm using healing intent, okay, which is the words are frequency coupled with metals, okay? Exactly the same thing with what's going on in the sky. So if I can use intent with this to create a healing result in you, and you get a healing result from that, okay, they can do the same thing up in the sky, but using a frequency to harm, okay, coupled with the metals. Okay, so that's what's actually happening there. Okay, so it's not only just the metals, it's a frequency that couples with it, because everything is vibration frequency. Okay, so it's the same thing with 5G, 6G. Now, a lot of people out there are saying that we need to we need to protect ourselves. We need to stop 5G. We need to stop 6G. Now, the best way to do this is to transmute the energy. Okay, one thing you must understand about energy: doesn't have an initiation of energy. Doesn't have an ending of energy. Energy gets transmuted. Okay, that's how they create all this distorted frequency, is because they're transmuting what should be compatible field with us with non-compatible field by using energy weapons, so to speak, frequency. Now, if we've got the right energy tools and know a bit about, one, we need to know the reality of the situation, there'll be awareness of this, then we can use little tools and geometry tools to then transmute that energy back, okay, into something positive, okay? And once you understand that, then all of a sudden you can create an environment around you, then that 5G, 6G will not harm you, okay? That is the way forth. Okay, we can take the example of orgonite, okay? Making orgonite, let's just look at a basic piece of orgonite is what? It's metals, right? Again, metals, okay? And why they encourage you to have all different types of metals, because they all have a different vibrational frequency to them. Okay, it's a resonance of different metals, and it usually has a crystal, which is the structure of because a crystal gives off a frequency, right? So again, we've got frequency plus metals, okay? But we've got a crystal, which is a compatible frequency with the metal, okay? And then it's just encoded within resin. So it's creating a healing effect. And so it's a very similar way of what they're doing with chemtrails, but in the chemtrails, the idea, the difference between the two is intent. One's to harm, one's to heal, right? Now, so we've got to understand, so air supply is being poisoned. The stuff we're putting in our food, which, you know, pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, all these things are creating our vibration to be dropped, okay, or lowered, okay, which then creates sickness, okay. Now, sickness is an industry, okay. We need to understand that we can use geometry to transmute that, okay. So, for example, you can't say you can't afford organic food, okay? Even if you grow organic food and grow your own food in the garden, which I absolutely recommend, that's what I do. I like to create a garden. Now, we could make sure that we don't put pesticides on it, we don't put fungicides, all the things that are in conventional produce. But what can we do about the fallout from the sky, from chemtrails and stuff? Well, the only option we have is to transmute it, okay? And we can do that already with geometry, okay? Using bioenergetic tools, tensor ring technology, harmonizers, using coils. We can use it using crystalline tools. These are many tools that I use on a day-to-day basis, helping people with their problems. But also, you know, I incorporate that within my environment because I know the power of them. I have divinity rings which activate nutrients in the soil in my gardens to create better produce growth. I put my food and water on a neutralization ring and transmutes anything that is in an organic form into an organic form. So I can buy conventional produce from the supermarket that may have sprays on it, but I know that I can create those to be inert and not affect me by transmuting and using geometry, and I do that every day. I do that with water, this restructure water, remove any inorganic minerals, which are minerals that just bind up your body and clog your filter, which is your physical body, transmute that back into organic, and then the body can utilize those minerals. Make the water structured so it will get to your cells. So instead of drinking 3 liters of water, you can just drink 1 liter of structured water and remain hydrated. So the way forward is in regards to geometry, and we can only get there if we can be awakened enough to know what our reality is, what the agenda of our reality is, and what's actually happening at the moment. Now, We need to make sure that we're not going to be fearful about 5G, 6G, the chemtrails. Okay, these are things that are here at the moment. Of course, we want this to stop. Okay, and it will. But in the meantime, we need to understand the way they're doing it, and we can use that same technology to flip around and then make everything positive in our favor again instead of lower vibration. So I thought I'd do this video about this, and the way forth is definitely using geometry and using positive frequency, which we can. We've got all the tools there. It's just being awakened and ready to use those and incorporate that into a lifestyle, not as a treatment method, but something that is part of your first aid kit on a daily basis, and that's how I use it here at Truly Holistic. So if you're interested in any products that are going to help with transmuting this energy, 5G, 6G, pesticides, all the things that we've got in our food that we're eating, go to my website at trulyholistic.net, and I've got many products there. If you're unsure about the product and you'd like to know a bit more, please comment below or contact me through my website, and I'll be happy to answer your questions.